I asked the question to everyone in my Facebook, and I am going to ask you the same thing. What do you think of your body? Is it perfect? Is it damaged? Need improvement? And I said, what you have is enough. Yes, what you have is enough. Very good evening, everyone. My name is Waran, and welcome to the Waran Shanmugam Show. Wednesday, 30th of June, final day of the first half of 2021. Can you beat that? Tomorrow is July the 1st. Today, we will have yet another amazing guest, a speaker, who advocates on body shaming in many platforms. Now, I got introduced to this word, right? I think this year, and it was alarming to know how this could lead to many disaster unto a person's life. Now that's scary, ladies and gentlemen. To speak more about this, let us welcome Imelda J. Simon. Hi there,
Hi.
Imelda. How are you
Hi.
doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thank you so much for doing this. Both your princesses, how are they? Good?
They're okay. They're very well. They're watching as we speak now.
Very nice, very nice. Good to have you here once again. A
Thank
bit
you.
about this show, Imelda, if I can. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Warren Shanmugam show is actually a space for sharing, and I mean sharing for a very great purpose. Not that something you and I know of, but something that everyone should know. And this is very important. Why? Because we bring in very much inspiring women. And inspiring women, I do not select whether they are on the highest level who have got the position pangkat or anyone at the bottom. It is whoever that I think inspired someone greater scale or smaller scale. I bring them here, and we want to hear them talk about their upbringing, their struggles, and also the achievements. And the idea, Imelda, is just to tell everyone out there that they are more than they think they are. I am more than I think. I think you may have noticed by now, yeah, Imelda, in my shows, I speak
Yes.
about this. Yes, that everyone, and I mean everyone, Imelda, have got great potential, but they just need to sit quietly and ask themselves, what else am I capable of doing? If they can ask themselves this, I think it will be mind blowing to know what they can do in a larger scale. And remember to follow our Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen. I am more than I think. Click like, click share. So, Imelda, let's start our conversation, shall we?
Yes. Yes. We should.
All right, good. I have got viewers already saying hi and good evening. We will go
Okay.
there shortly. But now, can you, like, as usual, share with us about yourself, your childhood, Imelda, and also your teenage life? Can you?
Okay. I'm going to try to make my story as short as possible because speaking about life can be very long.
You're
so,
right. You're right. Take your time.
yeah, I was born in PJ. I'm the eldest of three, all right, and soon this happened the early 80s. So my parents were actually young couple at that point of time. A few years later, see, I think 83 or 84, after my sister was born, my parents moved to Klang. So due to my mother's working schedule and my father's working schedule, we moved quite a bit. So from Klang, we moved to Shalam. From Shalam, we moved back to Klang. So what actually happened is that due to this, my schools also I was transferred pretty much. So I started off studying in PJ. From PJ, I moved to Shalam, and then back to PJ again, and then PJ straight. From Shalam to Klang. So Klang was actually the last place I lived with my parents before I got married. So talking about my siblings, as I said, I'm the eldest of three. My sister lives in Johor Bahru, and my brother lives in Canada with his wife. My parents now, my father's already retired, and my mother left her job many years ago, and they are now based in Shah Alam. So due to COVID, we are unable to see each other and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's how it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, it's very sad, yeah, that we have got our parents and yet we cannot meet them. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
now virtual, yeah, Imelda. But I would like to know also a little bit about your mom and dad parenting that you have had as
Oh,
a little girl, right? Your parents' age probably. What were their previous occupation, their hometown, and that background of yours? Can you share a little
okay.
bit?
My father actually, he was working in KL, and basically he worked in the same organization for a very long time, and then he was retired in 2020, I think last year or the year before, I cannot really remember. My mother left her job 17 years ago to take care of my eldest daughter. So when my daughter was born, she left her job because I didn't have anyone to actually take care of my eldest daughter. So she actually stepped in and took care of her. So now, I mean, if it's past retirement, my father is above 70 years and my mother is reaching 70. So, and then I've got a sister who lives in JB here. She's working from home, very lucky person now, especially during COVID. And my brother lives in Canada, as I mentioned. I was brought up in a very strict family. Actually, my father is not so strict. My dad is more of a jovial, joker type of, but my mother is actually quite strict. So I was brought up in a very strict, conservative Christian family. Okay. And yep, and then I got married at a young age. I got married, I would say, before I reached 21, to be to be exact. That means that year I was actually reaching 21 years of age, and I got married. And then I moved to Johor Bahru. So I would say that my roots are firmly rooted to the Johor Bahru soil. You see, there's no way I'm going to move back anywhere. It's like, this
I
is my
know.
tanah air.
Exactly right. And it's amazing how you said you got married at the age of 21. This was like those days, this was
Yeah,
the
correct.
normal thing, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's interesting. And it's a different lifestyle altogether, yeah. Something that people who do not know that would never understand that whole feeling. And Imelda, I did hear during our past conversations that you were very close with your grandma. Could you share your journey that you had with her?
Oh, this is a very sensitive question, Mr. Warren. Actually, it's a very emotional. Uh, so, my grandmother is actually, she had 8 grandchildren, and I'm the oldest. And I just hope that I don't get over emotional.
Be
So,
as comfortable as possible. Yeah.
I have no words to describe her. Actually, she's a woman just that radiates love. She's very pure. Okay. And she passed away when I was 18 years of age, right? So I just want to share a very heartwarming story about her. um, just days before she died, my it was basically end of July, and my sister's birthday was actually end of the month, and my cousin sister's birthday was actually beginning of August. So it was 31st of July and 3rd of August respectively. So what actually happened is that she was staying with my father's elder brother, and my father's elder brother's wife actually took care of her. And my father and my father's younger brother went to pay her a visit.
Mhm.
So when they went to pay her a visit, she told them that she will not live through so long to actually see my cousin sister and my sister. And what she did was she just handed over a gift, and she said to pass it to them and to send her wishes to them. So you see, even at her deathbed, she can actually think of passing a gift. When someone is at a deathbed, it's like you don't think about things like this. It's like, you feel that you are sick and you're going to go off, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And sure enough, she died on the 28th of July, 1997. And the gift eventually reached my sister and my cousin sister.
Yeah.
So she is just pure, full of love. She's a wonderful woman. And it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure. It's amazing how you shared, and
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. I know it was a bit emotional, but it's so important that the reason why I asked this question is because I want everybody to know that at every point in our life we have got someone as an anchor who really we miss so much. They
Yes.
may be still around, not around, but the beauty is that experience, the journey that you took with them is
Yep.
so precious, and thanks for sharing that. Now I want to break state a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Imelda, Pamela Bright says
Oh,
hi.
okay. Hi, Pam.
Someone whom you know?
Yeah, yeah, she's my relative.
Ah, beautiful. And then Sarah John says hi.
Okay, hi Sarah.
All right. Okay. So this must be all your fan club, yeah.
Yep,
Time
yep.
Machine says hi, Imelda.
I don't know who's time
I've
machine.
got no clue. Well, welcome to the fan base, yeah. Rajwin Kaur says, well done, Warren and Imelda.
Hi.
And we have got Jacob Raj says, hi, Akka.
Hi, Jacob.
Susan says, your grandma is indeed a great lady. Yes, you
Yes,
are
she
right,
was.
Susan.
Yes, she was.
Kevin Kumar says, hey.
Hey, hi, Kevin.
So when you smile like that, I know that they are someone whom you know, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shanti Shiran says, hello, Akka.
Hello. This is my cousin sister that I actually told you about just now,
Ah,
as I mentioned.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And Kevin says this. He said Imelda is a motivator. Well, indeed,
Yeah.
you are amazing. Yeah. Thanks, Kevin, to drop by and for the whole lot of your fan base. Yeah. And we will go on further on the viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching Imelda J. Simon. She is talking about body shaming. So if you have got any questions, please post that question in the chat group so that we can pick it up and Imelda can answer because she advocates body shaming. You want to know more? Stay tuned. Yeah. So I want to go back to a couple of the questions that I have. Would you like to share your career path, Imelda, your past experiences and what do you actually do?
Okay, career path wise, I started off my first official working in a large organization was with an higher education institution back in Subang. So I worked here. Prior to that, I worked as a receptionist at a neighboring factory and stuff like that. So my first official working, where I lasted for about 4 years before I got married, was this higher education institution. This is where I actually grew to like working in a private institution, So after that, I came to Johor, right? And I worked, and I couldn't find another private higher education because at that point of time, there were not much choices. There was only public universities available. So I worked in a telecommunication line where I lasted there for 6 years as the secretary to regional head. Thereafter, I moved to a manufacturing company where I worked for close to 5 years. So this is the company where actually I had this self-realization that I was very much good in training. Okay. My ex-boss, I don't know whether if he's watching tonight, he was the one who basically just threw me in the ocean and asked me to start training, and basically he guided me, to a certain extent. But it was in this organization where I learned a lot of things, and I started to realize what was in me. Okay, it invoked that feelings and that path for me. And thereafter, I managed to secure a job in another higher education institution in Johor Bahru, to which I'm still here today, and I head the executive office. So I've been here for about close to 6 years. So on the other hand, what I do is that I exercise my passion, as what you kept saying in the show. I speak to teens, young adults, and children about body shaming.
Mhm.
So that's what I do. Yeah.
Okay, I've got this photo. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about this photo. Let me just share. There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is basically taken when I was 15 years old. Actually, I was about to actually speak about this photo. This is the part where I faced body shaming. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit of history. Now, body shaming happened to me ever since I was young. That means it started happening to me since I was probably about 11. How it started is I was basically ostracized from taking part in a drama, okay, because I was very thin and tall. So what happened was I was not allowed to take part in the drama because they said that I was not a fit. So that was when I came back home as a child, and I remember having this conversation with my father, and I told him that because I am thin, they don't want to involve me in this drama. Okay. Many years later, as this photograph shows, a sudden attack of the skin condition came. All right. So it started from my head. All right. It crawled upon my forehead, to the side of my face, to my neck, and to the back. So if you see this photograph closely, this was actually the healing process of it. Um, my face and the skin color is totally different. It's because the psoriasis, I mean that particular skin condition basically took over my entire face, and it was during the initial stage. It was scaly, it was bloody, and it was not a pleasant sight, right? So what actually happened is that somehow, it caused me a lot of stress because I was actually moving to a new school. And when I moved to this new school, people actually asked me to sit behind. Nobody spoke to me. It took me weeks, for people to actually come and talk to me and actually add them in their group in their recess time and stuff like that, because people felt that I had something on my face, something growing on my face. And my parents went and got me some sort of oil, and until today, I still have to use that steroid cream, because if I don't use it, it will flare. Okay, it will just flare. And thereafter this thing subsided. Okay, so once it subsided, I became a teen, and then I went to college and stuff like that. So going to college and all that, it's normal, where actually people come and say, hey, you very teen la, you are this la, you're that la. But all this I ignored la, because I was very used to it already, you see. But when I got married, this is where it was a game changer, because I'm now an adult and I'm facing a different set of people. I'm now working in a different organization, and I still face the same thing. And what happened was, it became so severe that people started commenting on my body, started commenting on my face, and this happened publicly. And because I'm an adult, I was very sensitive towards it, and I didn't know how to cope. So over the years, I had to deal with this, and then I started observing a certain pattern. So I started observing my reaction and their action. So I put one and one together, and that is how I actually overcame this. And what I do now is I use the methods, the tested and tried methods, and I share with children, because it starts from children. Yeah. So that's a short, that's a snapshot of what I actually do.
Yeah, so the reason why I showed that photograph, and it's very important, because if you do not tell what you have just told us, that picture was just a perfect picture. Now you have got nothing to comment. You have got yourself and two other lady friend of yours seated with the biggest smile ever. And yet, when you told us the story, it's really something different, a different perspective altogether to whatever that we have been seeing. And that's the title, but for this show tonight, all bodies are beautiful. The reason why we spoke about what we spoke about is because we all think that we are all normal, and yet we have got someone who comes and says that, you know what, something is not right. I
Yep.
want to really decode whatever that you have just said just now into different elements, Imelda, if I can, so that
Yeah.
we could really dive deep into what you were saying. Now, the title itself, right? Are all bodies beautiful? All bodies are indeed beautiful, is what you are saying. What does it
Yep.
really mean to you as a person?
Okay. I'm going to just ask you back. Okay. Now, when you go out to the shop, okay, or anywhere, what do you see? You see diversity in front of you. You see
Yes.
people, you see different people, different shapes, different sizes, different way of reaction. So all this is actually different. And why, to me, this is solely based on my observation. Why I feel this actually happens is that we have biasness within ourselves. Okay, whether we admit or not, we have unconscious bias within ourselves. Okay, so what is unconscious bias is that we accept what is familiar, we reject what is unfamiliar. Now this rejection thing and these acceptance things happen to this preset condition that we have in our mind, because we say that this is what we accept, so we accept this, but this might not be the same for another person. Okay, so when over the years, dealing with people, I have seen people say things to other people, and also they say things about themselves. You see, like for example, I had a friend who used to come and tell me this: my nose is very big. Okay, My hair is like this. Okay, I think I cannot fit into this dress. I will never be able to fit into this dress because my size is like this. Now, why do we say things like this? So for me, I felt that you are unique in your own way. Even twins, right? They may be same, but if you really see, actually their shapes might actually differ. They might be actually different, right? So the problem is that people don't accept. People feel that since you're different from them, they kind of like push you aside and they reject you. So this is where body shaming starts. This is where we actually tend to make fun of people. And body shaming does not only mean that you are big size and you make fun, or you're thin. They also means that if you got a scar on your face, and as I said, skin conditions and other factors.
Okay. Okay. And you use body shaming a lot. I really want to, if I were to ask you to for a definition, right? What does body shaming actually means, Imelda? And also tell us a little bit about. You spoke about one part of your story, yeah. But body shaming and Imelda, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Body shaming and me is a little bit of what I've told you just now, on how I was
Correct.
basically.
That's your younger days. I'm talking
Yes.
about you now advocating body shaming, right? What
Okay,
is the,
okay.
what is the meaning behind this body shaming? Because I'm sure a lot of people will come and ask you, "Hey, body shaming, what does it really mean?" How do you tell them this? And I want to ask you this question that just came up in my WhatsApp. Yeah, on that same note, I'm constantly called that I'm fat, but I'm not that fat as there are others who are bigger than me. How do I handle myself as I am now thinking that I am definitely a fat person? You see,
Okay.
how do you make sure that this little fella understands body shaming?
Okay, now this is part of my the slide that I showed you on BEDS, the BITS method. Now
Okay, let
this
me
is
bring that up. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure if it is clear for everyone. Now, to answer this person's question, this question falls into category D, which is disconnect from your inner bully. Now, this person is constantly feeling that they are fat. Okay, now you must always understand that you are your greatest enemy actually. If it's because you are saying a lot of detrimental things towards yourself, that is why you feel that way. What you should do is that you should disconnect from it. You should look at other parts of your body, other segments of your life that actually you perform well. Things like this, that you are fat or you are thin, is something that you cannot control. People tell you do a weight loss program, but how often is a weight loss program successful? People become depressed because they feel that they are trying, they are reducing their food, and they are still of the same weight. Even many people I know have actually tried that. So disconnect from it. Come out and look at the part where, what are you good at? I don't know this person, or probably this person is a good looking person. Probably this person can actually dress well. Probably this person can speak well. So concentrate on all that. The moment you keep thinking that I'm fat, I feel I'm very fat, I feel I can't, that is where you go into severe depression, and all these other sickness will follow, like eating disorders and stuff like that. So that is my advice for this person.
Okay, okay. And thanks for the advice. Yeah, that's remarkable, because a lot of people find that every other day there are someone saying things with their knowledge or without their knowledge, and it reaches them. And it reaches them, right? It really intimidates someone, and that's very dangerous. And I want to ask on that same line, right? How does it actually affect someone? Body
Okay.
shaming.
That's a very good question, actually, Mr. Warren. Now, how it affects is that if you let it grow, okay, if you let it grow, you will go into severe depression, severe anxiety, eating disorders, and this could lead into a lot of other complications if it's not treated. Now, there are two things. The first thing is that, as I mentioned just now, you got to disconnect from your inner bully. The other thing is that you must know how to deal with perpetrators. There is a certain method, okay, which I have tested, and it works successfully, which I want, which I actually want to share now. So a person who does this, they do it on purpose. Okay, they say things to purposely make you feel small. Okay, so your reaction to that feeds the monster in them. Okay, so when you react, for example, now you go on to to the extent of fighting with the person, or you go to the extent of arguing with the person, what the person will do is he likes it. Okay, so you are actually feeding him. So what I would do, what I have done is that I will only react once, because a perpetrator or a narcissist can only go on for 30 days. Okay, that's the max. Okay, so what I would suggest is that only react once. So once you react, it can be verbal, okay, or it can be through face. Just say that I don't like this, please don't do this anymore. After this, just use the magic word which I always tell my children: you have to ignore it. You have to find all your feelings inside and ignore it, and then you got to and then the Bates method comes into place. Like what I mentioned, you got to believe in self-love, you got to embrace positivity, disconnect from your inner bully, and stop trying to hide yourself. That's this 4 tested and tried method that I have done.
Okay. So you mean to say this is what you have done when you went through body shaming? Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And how much did it work?
Okay.
You as a person?
As I said, I was badly affected for more than 10 years, right? So it took me some time. So through observation and through speaking to people and learning from experiences, I did this on and on. Sometimes I must admit it comes back. But what I do is that I have to tweak my mind. You see, I don't use the word tune your mind, because tune, like for example, now if you tune your radio, you're tuning from one station to one station. Why I use the word tweak is because at times we humans, we will go from positive to negative. So
Mhm.
you tweak your mind from negative to being positive, and say things to yourself. Like for example, I used to say this. I used to say this a lot to myself. I used to say that I think I should stay away from this person. But what I normally say is that I choose to stay away from this person. I choose to say that my body is beautiful. I choose to say, I choose to feel the way I'm feeling now. That is how I came out of this eventually.
Okay. Now, and the reason, Imelda, if you could see, and also for those viewers out there, that I'm asking pretty much the similar questions every now and then, because you really need to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Body shaming is not a playing stuff. Yeah, it is very deep. It goes and grows very deep into a person's mind, body, and system, and that's not right. That is not right at all. And I'm saying this because we all have gone through this one way or another. And you need to understand what really body shaming means. It is no joke. You need to be very serious about this particular subject. And we want to know more about it. But before that, Imelda, let me look at your fan base here, if I may. I have got, let's see. There you go. Devi, who says, Hi, Imelda.
Oh, hi, Devi.
Okay, there you go. Jacob Raj says, Akka, nice to see you in YouTube.
Okay, he's my cousin brother.
Ah, there you go. Hi there, cousin brother. Love Reddy says, You're amazing, Imelda. Keep going with what you
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
All right. Eric Lim says, Yes, hashtag I am more than I think. Yeah. Jay Preeta says, Hello, Imelda.
Oh, hi, Jay.
And Richard Elba says overweight is commonly associated with body shaming. However, being thin, especially having skinny legs, which I can relate to, is also body shaming. How
Yes.
does one control oneself having suffered this insecurity all through one's life? You see, you have got this part where they say you are fat. And then
Yep.
you have got another part where they say you are skinny. You see,
Correct.
this also not right. That is also not right. Now, Richard Elba is asking this question. Would you like to take on that question?
Yes, I will take on that question. But I hope Mr. Richard is watching this because I want to do an exercise. Since I can't see anybody, so Mr. Warren, you have to do this exercise with me.
Okay, all right, come, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Now, what you do now is you spread. I mean, lengthen your hands. Okay.
Okay, all
All
right.
right. Now, focus on what I'm going to say now. All right. Just
Okay,
focus. Now, concentrate on your wrist. Please concentrate on your wrist, huh? On your wrist.
okay.
Now, show me your palm without moving your wrist. So don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Show me your palm without moving your wrist. Concentrate on your wrist, please. I'm only going to give you 5 seconds. No, you can't use the other hand. You can't use the other hand. All right. So I'm only going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, you got it right. Okay.
All
Now,
right.
many people, what they will do is that they will not know what to do because what I said just now is concentrate on your wrist.
That's
All
right.
right. So
That's right.
this means when people tell you you have got skinny legs, for example, Mr. Richard Elba, right? He is only concentrating on his skinny legs. He's not concentrating on what the other things that actually he can do. Like for instance, now when I asked when I said the answer is actually like this, you can actually move your elbow. This is what you're capable of. Okay. Now I'm sorry, but Mr. Richard, I don't know how you look like, but instead of concentrating on the part where you have got skinny legs, again, I'm saying you might be good looking, you might be tall, you might be good in football, you might be good at all the other aspects. Do not hide yourself from aspects like this. I know, like the other person who said that they are fat. Now this person is saying that they have got skinny legs. The more you concentrate on this, the more your entire focus will be on it. So it's best to focus on what you can do.
Very well said. Very well said,
Yeah.
Imelda. I think, Richard, it's also about, I think, like how during our teen days, we used to worry so much about that little pimples that just come by.
Yeah.
And we will do anything and everything. The ladies, even worse, right? They will have a lot of things to be focused on that very little pimples only. But that's not all. There's a lot of other areas that you may want to focus on. People are not going to come and say, you know what, you got these very big pimples on your face. That's not what their focus point is. But we ourselves feel that, you know what, that is the one thing that is going to be the biggest subject matter of the day. So therefore, I'm going to focus on that. In actual fact, it is all us feeding us ourselves with all the negative thought is what I am thinking. So it is very nicely said, right? Do not focus on the skinny leg, but rather think about what are the beauties that you have besides that those skinny legs. And skinny legs are not the wrong thing or the right thing. And no one is there to certainly say that, you know, this is right, this is wrong, this is okay,
Correct.
this is not okay. It's about we comparing to one and another. And I have got a couple of other questions also, and we shall take this before my own question. Yeah? Nelson Bear says, good sharing. Thanks, Imelda.
Thank you.
John Victor says, well said. Kevin
Okay.
Kumar has a couple of things. One, he said, I have gone through it and I agree with what you said. Sometimes it comes back and we will have to be strong.
Yes.
Then he asked this question. Can I I have got this question. What if we can't set our mind to ignore what people say or what they discriminate? It's easy to think negative or feel insecure rather than making ourselves to ignore and be strong. Do you want to answer that, Imelda?
Okay, yes, I can answer. Let me rephrase this question again. Kevin is saying that what if we can't set our mind to ignore what people say? Okay, now that's the first part of the question. We are humans. We cannot ignore. Okay,
Yep.
comments will come. Okay, the only thing I can say to Kevin is that we cannot control the person, okay, who actually say negative things to us, but we can control our actions. How we react is very important. Okay, people can say whatever they actually want to say. You actually cannot stop it. You cry or you go and fight, you cannot say anything. But your reaction is actually very important. As I said, if you were to ignore it and focus on other things, you will eventually move on. Trust me on that, because I have gone through that. That is my answer for Kevin.
Okay, lovely, lovely. And you have got Shreya Joshua who says you're an inspiration. Definitely
Okay,
you are,
thank you.
Imelda. And Pamela Bright have got this question. She's asking, can elaborate more on narcissistic people and what causes them to become one?
Okay, Pamela, this is a very psychological question. Okay, I can take it behind this show. What I can do is I can speak to you later. If you could drop your phone number, I would call you.
Okay, so you want to share a little bit what does it mean and have you ever handled? I'm sure you have handled.
Yes. Okay,
Second,
I'll just give you a very brief explanation on what
very brief, just to
Okay.
yeah.
Narcissist people who actually when they act, okay, their sole purpose is to actually put you down, but they feel that what they're doing is not harm. Okay, they feel that what they are doing to you is not harmful. They always have this feeling that you are trying to harm them, so they counter react to it, and they can be very cruel at times, not thinking and not feeling how you might feel based on their actions. This
Okay.
is just a brief introduction of narcissist person.
Okay, for those out there, narcissism is actually a personality disorder. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a label by itself, medically termed. But again, as Imelda fantastically said, Pamela Bright, please contact Imelda. You can follow us. I am more than I think. We will have all her details. Please contact her because she's an awesome lady. She will let you know how to handle this. And loads of questions coming. I have got my own question, but I really need to ask you these questions from the viewers, Imelda, because they are more important. Yeah. So Shalu here says, I am 5 feet, and it is so irritating when people think that the way they tease me, I'm actually something cute. Would
Okay.
you like
This,
to?
yes, I will take this question. This is the same thing as what I said just now. You cannot control what people say to you. It is very irritating. Okay, when you see the person each time they actually say things to you, they make fun of you, a shorty and all that. You see, you must understand that they have got this negativity in them, which actually grew in them, and they feel satisfied when you react. I know it is actually very irritating. Okay, I can perfectly understand that, but the magic will happen only when you stop reacting to them. Okay, the moment you react, they will be very happy and they will counter react. So you got to deal with your own feelings on separately, which probably you have to shift your focus. That means people will say whatever they want to say. That is something you really cannot stop. So if I'm going to tell you now, go and argue with the person and go and fight with the person, that is not the right thing to do. So the only thing you can do is that you got to ignore and you got to move, and you got to focus on your positivity and what you can bring forth.
Okay, good. Pamela Bright said yes, she will contact you. Thanks so much, Pamela. Please do so. And Kevin Kumar says, thank you so much. Keep going and never stop what you're doing, Imelda, supporter of the Waran Shanmugam show. Thank you so much, Kevin. And yeah, Pamela gave thumbs up. I've got this question also,
Okay.
Imelda. From the WhatsApp, it says, I have been through a surgery because of my disease, and I now don't look good and I don't look normal. How should I feel?
Okay. My question is back to you. All right. How you feel about yourself is very important. Okay. Not what
Perfect.
other people feel about you. Even you
Perfect.
had a surgery, all right, it's all up to you. If you feel great, if you feel beautiful, that is all that matters. We do not want to know what other people thinks about us or what other people says about us, because however we are, even though we are perfect, people will still say things about us. So the most important thing is how you feel about yourself is much more important. And I hope that you are feeling great about yourself.
Lovely. Lovely. How you feel is more important than what
Yes, than
others.
what other people feel. Yes.
Beautiful. Very nicely said. Imelda, I want to ask you this. Are there awarenesses or hotline to complain about body shaming or to know more about body shaming? Can you
Okay.
share?
Now, complain. Okay, we do not have complaint. All right, especially if you're doing verbally. All right. Now, for example, now offline, if I were to say something to you, you cannot go and complain because it's your words against my words. But if there's cyberbullying, if there's cases of cyberbullying, there are ways of actually raising this. First
Okay.
thing is that you got to lodge a police report. Second thing is that you need to complain to MCMC, okay, and then what will happen is that they will do their normal investigation. And I'm going to read this because I'm not very good in penal codes and stuff like that. So what's going to happen is that any act of body shaming by insulting or disparaging somebody's body is a crime that could be punished under provisions of the Penal Code,
Mm.
Communications and Multimedia Act (CMA), and Minor Offences Act on obscene and insulting language. This person would be charged under Section 2331A under CMA 1998. Okay. Now, the fine, it could be jail term, depends on the severity. It could also be 50,000 ringgit. So it actually depends on who complains and how the investigation process goes on. But what I know, if you read in the newspaper and read in the internet now, this is actually taken very seriously because there's cases every day.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's good to know. Yeah. And also, we right always hear this, and sometimes we don't know what to do. Imelda, what is the role do you think that we should be playing?
Okay, Mr. Warren, I would strongly say be an ambassador. Platform like this that you are using is a good uh, it's a good platform actually to reach out to people to create awareness. Okay, shows like this, and every one of us should play a part in creating awareness. Okay, teaching your children. Okay, correcting your children from making fun of other children, and then before you make a comment, even though it's in your heart, think before you, so because somebody can be suffering of a disease that you actually don't know. So
Yeah.
try not to utter words which might cause discomfort. Say it to yourself first. Is it right if I say it to myself before you open your mouth? So that
Oh,
is my advice.
beautiful. Say it to yourself first. See whether you feel the pain or not. If you feel
Yep.
the pain, I'm sure it will be the same pain when you do this to others. Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
I have seen a couple of things that you have been doing on your own. I'll just share some of your pictures, if I may. Yeah. Let me just
Okay.
click on this. There you go. If you can see, those are a couple of things that you used to do.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you do have sessions, right? You want to talk a little bit about this?
Yes, I conduct sessions on body shaming for teens and children. So what I normally do is I go through age group. Okay, so and there is a specific method on how to speak to them, and I teach them what they should do and how they should react. So there are a lot of positive feedbacks. Okay, because they know how to deal with such a situation. I use case studies. Okay, I tell them that this is the way that you should react. Let's say now, if this happens, how do you react? And more of sharing, because children will get bored with slides and stuff like that. So this is something that I do. I've been doing this for the past, I would say, a year already. It's just that recently I have got myself certified, and I've established a company. So I'm actually doing this now officially.
Okay. So when you say you're doing this officially, what are the platforms? I mean, are they schools or
Oh, okay.
public schools, international schools? You want to share a little bit?
Okay, I'm actually now working with two international schools. The how to say, I'm still getting back. It's on the discussion mode. So rather than that, I actually speak to just bunch of children. All right, and word of mouth.
I see.
Mm.
Okay. All right. And if they want to contact you in any manner, they can actually do so, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. Can I just also ask this question? And I ask this every time when we have got someone, and this is very important. Yeah, women and discrimination, Imelda. I know you're already smiling, yeah, because every time I speak about this in all my shows. Why, Imelda? Is simply because I want everyone to know that this is very important. Yeah, people see things differently, but I want to hear from every woman who come here what they have gone through. So, discrimination. What's your take on that?
Okay, discrimination. I'm not going to say that I have never faced discrimination as a woman. Okay, I have definitely faced discrimination, and I'm sure a lot of women out there have faced discrimination. Actually, discrimination is very subjective. Okay, some people might interpret it as a discrimination. Some people might not. Okay, but probably maybe I am a bit sensitive. So certain things that actually happen to me. I feel that it is discrimination. We used to use this word unfair, but actually the harsh word of unfair is actually discrimination. If you really think, right? So I'll give you just an example. Again, I'm putting this disclaimer note. This is my story. It might not be applied to anyone else. Okay. Now, let's say a typical family, all right, a typical family where you have sons and daughters. So, what do the mothers do? They normally give the household chores more to the daughters instead of the sons. Reason being is because the daughters are going to get married, okay, and they're going to take care of their husband and their children. Now, this is a long passed down practice, because those days the men would go out to work and the woman would actually stay at home and take care of the children. But this got passed down from generation to generation, that people are still practicing that. So now you see women are already working. So this is something that actually people should actually consider, in not to share the workload. Like what I always tell my children is that cooking, cleaning is not your responsibility. It's a life skill. Okay, something that you have to take on, because now, for example, now you're stranded somewhere, and if you don't know how to cook or how to clean and all that, how are you going to survive? So it's basically a survival skill. I don't have a son, but if I had a son, I will tell the same thing to him as well. It's a survival thing. It's not a responsibility. It is not a gender based responsibility.
Mhm.
So
Well,
that is my
well,
take on discrimination. Yeah.
I think very well said. Yeah, it is not about you being a lady or a girl. Therefore, you must learn this because once you get married, then you have to do it in your household. You have to do this to your husband, to your kids, and whatnot. But it's more on life skill. You can be wherever in this world at any one point of time. This will be very essential and very helpful for you to move forward. Can you imagine if you are posted to a country where you don't have your parents by your side? What do you do then?
Yep.
Then
Yep. Yep.
these life skills really applies. And you rightfully said, yeah. And Susan also said this by saying that we are all beautiful in our own ways. Yes, you are indeed right, Susan.
Right.
Imelda, any message that you have got for the ladies out there who have gone through pretty much part of your life, if not all?
Okay. I really want to say this to all ladies watching this. You may be going through something in your life today. Okay. You may be going through a sickness that we don't know about. You may be going through a divorce. You may be going through something that is a difficult, probably a difficult phase in your life. But please remember that none of this defines your worth as a woman. None of this defines your value as a woman. You are the only one who can define your worth and your value as a woman, not anything else. This is my words for the women who are watching this today.
Very nice.
Thank
I
you.
must say, Imelda, thank you so very much. I
Thank
can't
you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
much because you have done with the sharing, right? And it is very important. And I would say that it is definitely a splendid sharing, Imelda. Why? Because you telling us your own stories, right? Very openly. I think that itself is an amazing thing that you actually did. And this show is to all the people out there. All of you all have heard her story, and it's important that you understand her story and your story pretty much in the similarity. But if she can do it, so can you. So think about this. This is very important. You need to understand that everyone have got their own stories, but you need to do something differently so that that is your identity. Now, I have got a lot of other questions that's coming. Other messages. Sri Devi says, well said, life skills. Susan again says, well said, Imelda. And I want to stop there, Imelda. Thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you. Thank
I, on
you.
behalf of all the people out there, Imelda, would like to wish you all the success in everything that you do, and keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, it is very important. Thank you so much, Imelda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do say hi to your lovely kids. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say this, yeah. I've received messages from the many telling how ugly they are now because of something happened or the way they looked before. Now, I would suggest that you stop body shaming yourself first. Then expect change happening from others. Remember that you should love what you have. And if any of you say that you're ugly, then you're going against the whole creation itself. Yeah. So bear in mind, you are simply awesome. On that same note of going against creation, right? I have been hearing so many suicidal cases just recently, yeah, and it has been increasing. I want to tell all of y'all, please hang in there. Yeah, remember that we all have issues, but we all are trying to swim, even though the current is like extremely big time. If you feel like you are sinking, raise your hand, and it is okay not to be okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is okay not to be okay. I have a list of numbers that you could call, and I would like to share it in my Facebook page. So please shout out for help if there is a need. Yeah, I will share with you a little bit of what I have, if I may. So there you go. Those are the numbers I will share with you all, because there are plenty of numbers that you can call if you need help. And remember, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we have got something that we are always telling everyone, and this is about food bank. And I want to share with you this. A lot of people are now doing food banks, and it is made available in many locations, ladies and gentlemen. And the tagline that I like is also very interesting. Take what you need, give what you can. This is very amazingly written, yeah. So I want to give shout out to Irene Hisham, yeah, for the many food banks that she have prepared. Also to YB Nicole Tan with her Kedai Muhibah Raya. So if you want to know about them, go to Irene Hisham's webpage, Facebook page, and also Nicole Tan Lee Kun's Facebook page. Go and like them, go and share them. Not also forgetting Rotary Club in many places. They are also setting up these food banks called Berkat Dari Community. You can also tag them, follow them, and if you see anyone in help, please, please, please help them. For those providing food bank in so many locations, no words to describe, but I could only say terima kasih banyak-banyak and many blessings. Let's do our best in fighting this pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I am more than I think. My name is Waran, signing off. We shall see you next week, Wednesday, same time. Bye-bye. Bye, Imelda.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.